AEW World's End 2023, three horrible booking decisions. We're going to break it down because AEW wrapped up their 2023 with this show, and it was newsworthy, and I covered a lot of it. The entire show in a recap results video, which you can check out on the main channel. But as I always do, I figured it's worthwhile to go back and look at and see what they did wrong because it was a solid show, but there was a lot of underwhelming moments in this show. There was a lot of underwhelming matches on this show, although the final three matches were very good. The reveal of the devil I thought was good. Having MJF lose the title to Samoa Joe in the main event I thought was very good. But there's always something, and these are the top three. So at number three, we have Chris Statlander losing to Willow Nightingale on a pre-show. Why? What are we doing? They went 13 minutes. Willow Nightingale looked very, very strong in this match. It was not a one-sided, match or anything. I don't understand why you're beating a former champion on a pre-show when you have Chris Statlander who has so much stock built up within the fan base. Why you're beating her on the pre-show? I just don't understand that. Number two is Adam Copeland winning and then losing the TNT Championship. So let me set the stage for you. Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, they did a wild no DQ match. Ladders, tables, chairs, kendo sticks. They brawled into the crowd. There was constant interference from Nick Wayne, even his mother. We have Adam Copeland powerbomb Nick Wayne through a flaming table. This was supposed to be the blow-off of his feud with Christian Cage. He defeats Christian Cage. He wins the TNT title, something that is in storyline the most important thing to Christian Cage. Then after the match, he is laid out by Killswitch, who earlier in the night won a battle royale to earn the opportunity for a future TNT championship bout. He then surrenders this contract to Christian Cage. Therefore, Christian Cage cashes in, it's their version of a Money in the Bank, the contract, wins the TNT title back from Adam Copeland. So where do we go from here? They did a death match, essentially, at the show. What are you going to be able to do? What are they going to go into a steel cage? After what we just saw, they can't necessarily top that. Is Copeland just going to give up after being screwed? Like, what are we doing, right? Because they had an easy out. You had Copeland win the title. Christian Cage is broken because he lost this, and then he goes on to like a resurgence, or you could turn him babyface and then have him, team with Copeland. There's many ways. I just did not like this. Number one, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here because these are rumors and allegations and everything like this, but keeping Chris Jericho on the show because 24 hours prior, Nick Hausman made a reference and compared Chris Jericho to Harvey Weinstein. And this brought up sexual allegations or sexual misconduct allegations against Jericho. Tony Khan didn't really comment on it at the post-event presser, but they kept him on the show. Chris Jericho was the number one or number two trend on Twitter the entire day leading into this show. He got a mixed reaction when he first came out, and then throughout the match, the fans turned on him and the match. There were chants of CM Punk, NDAs, and etc. He was getting booed throughout the match. Look, I am a strong believer in don't convict someone of an allegation or a crime before they have their day in court or before an investigation can be conducted. However, there was no reason to keep Jericho on this show. You could have had someone replace him. Take the smart approach of, okay, Chris, you deny these, that's fine, but we need to do an investigation in the meantime. And if you're so confident in your deniability, then you'll have no problem with just kind of being on the sidelines, and then we can clear your name, right? It's not that big of a deal in regards to how you can, convince him of, look, you're not working the show. Look, here's the reason why. You can have him be attacked. There's so many different angles, right? Uh, Even on the show, Keith Lee wasn't medically cleared, so they just had Dustin Rhodes for no reason replace him. You could have done that with Chris Jericho, but having him on the show was a horrendous idea and one that was easily nixed, and you could have just moved on. He should not have been on this show whatsoever.